Okay, quick hot take. Quick hot take. I'm gonna make this move, and just to put you guys on an idea that I have. I'm not expecting everyone else to be on board with it because it's fresh. It's something that I believe is going to happen. Okay, remember like a couple months ago, I started putting out in the atmosphere what was going to happen with how the Players Association was going to use Caitlin Clark as this big Joker type figure, where she was going to come in at late in the midnight hour, and they were going to be like, "Look, we got Caitlin Clark here." And okay, so we know that happened. We know that Caitlin Clark was on this side. I think a lot of fans are thinking that Caitlin Clark she's getting beat up and no one likes her. That they're thinking that Caitlin Clark was not going to be on side with her fraternity sisters. You guys got to get out of your head of trying to make it a rivalry with everyone. Everyone isn't rivaled. Everyone isn't enemies. Sure, there are players that may not like other players, but when it comes to business and this fraternity, these girls are going to work together. You got to get that stuff out of your head because you have these online beefs with a certain fan group that these players are feeling like you. They don't. They really don't. They can coexist together without liking each other. They can coexist together, working together. You have coworkers at your job right now that you haven't talked to in 3 years, but you still go to work with them. Get that stuff out of your head because what it does is it fractures the way you make arguments and you don't see it. Okay, I said that to say that Caitlin Clark is the linchpin. She's the goose. She's the egg. She's whatever analogy you want to use to say that she's the piece that's needed, and that's 100% for sure. That's one thing we all need to and should agree upon. So the players had the CBA couple of meetings this weekend at All Star Weekend, and what happened is we know that the players did not get satisfactory they didn't have a satisfactory agreement with the owners, and that was to be expected. And what that does say is that they're talking, but that's not a problem. What's going to happen is they're going to start setting deadlines. They're going to start setting negotiation deadlines where both sides are going to have to make a move, and that's when you're going to see stuff happening. Right now they're feeling each other out. They're like, hey, this is my offer, this is my offer, and they're saying, no, 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 you bought a car before, some of you purchased homes before. When I give you I'm giving you my offer. Hey, give me that car for $1. You're like, nah, how about $10? And you're like, nah, I got $4. Now you're negotiating. And that's what they're doing now. And what the ladies are doing here with this background I have is they're negotiating also via social media and media pressure. And here's my point with media pressure and social media pressure. The Unrivaled League was an all-star weekend, big and bold, and they were out there. I know there are some people that are saying speculating that the Unrivaled will be eventually bought out by the NBA and become a partner as a sort of a developmental league. And that can still be the case. I'm not absolutely sure on that. That can be the case, but I am sure on this that the players are using Unrivaled as sort of Caitlyn is number one option. They're using Unrivaled as like the number three option, like letting the owners know that hey, if you guys don't play ball with us, we're gonna go to Unrivaled. And you gotta see the play. Listen, I know some of you who don't like the Unrivaled League because of you believe that it's a rec league, you don't have any faith in it. I understand you're not understanding how startup businesses work. So that and you're using emotion and you're not understanding the business acumen that these ladies are using. You don't see it because you're emotionally tied to your your imaginary beef with who you think Caitlin Clark has a beef with. Caitlin Clark is going to be behind her fraternity when it comes to the Unrivaled League, and you're not going to like it. That's why every move she makes, you get upset with it. You call her a DEI person. You say she's bending the knee. You're doing all of that because in your mind, you thought Caitlin Clark was on the side that you're on. You're not realizing that these girls, rather, I'm not being political about it, but these girls are fraternal in what they're doing, and they're all going to stick together. You gotta see that. You have problems with fan groups. These girls are working together and they're business partners. So they're working together and they're trying to build an ownership in what they're doing. So what they're gonna do with Unrivaled is this. Okay, listen. When I put the CC theory out there, you know, I got in many arguments, but eventually the CC argument came to pass. I'm going to tell you about this unrivaled argument. I don't want it to happen because I love my WNBA records and I want to see my girls beat these records. So I don't think it's going to happen. But this is how they can use the unrivaled. They can use the unrivaled because they signed 14 superstar athletes from college on NIL deals, letting the WNBA know that these players that are coming up, these superstars who you would want to draft, who are building names, they come to me. Juju Watkins, Malaysia Forwali, um, Flau'jae Johnson. These girls are named. You know what I'm saying? Paige Buckers came in as a name. Angel Reese has a name. These are young 2020 classmates. Haley Van Lit has a name. Caitlin Clark has a name. See, the players that are in the league now, most people don't recognize that much if they're a newer fan. But if you're a newer fan that's in now and you're locked in with the 2024 team, you're starting to realize that the 2025 team has good players. 2026 team is going to have good players. 2027 is going to have good players. So you're locked into these college athletes. So with them signing those 14 college athletes, what it did was it let the owners know that they're playing hardball with us. So the owner's going to have to soften up on some of their deals. They might have to lose a couple more dollars until those sponsorships are coming. Caitlin Clark is going to bring in over $1 billion. See, right now they're playing with hundreds of millions. Caitlin Clark is $1 billion entity. Listen to what I'm telling you. She's $1 billion entity on her own, and she's going to warrant that. And the WNBA is going to get a piece of that as well. They're going to get a bigger piece of that. So this is what's going to happen. They're going to use that, and at the deadline, okay, like I was saying, they're going to set those deadlines, and they're going to meet those deadlines, and they're going to take a deal. Both sides are going to appear happy, but the owners won't be too happy with the deal that they're going to have to take because these ladies are playing with leverage. You don't want to hear it right now because that's not what you're thinking. That's not what you thought. But I'm telling you right now, these ladies have leverage, and they know they have leverage. That's why if he can do ESPN draft of a WNBA All Star game with an unrivaled shirt on. That's why Angel could walk around with me bounds doing interviews all weekend. They're playing with leverage and they realize it. And you know what? The owners know it too. And the owners has been losing money for 28 years. They do not want to miss out on the gain that's finally going to be here. Like I was gonna talk about that movie Tyler Perry made. Tyler Perry had a movie where the guy he was like he built some type of machine. I can't remember the exact premise, but he built the machine. His girl who he married like had she came from family. She invested in him all this money, money, money. Eventually she got tired of waiting on him to make the money. So she left him. He ended up striking a deal with the product that he had. He got filthy, filthy rich and he just went and because she left him, he went back to her, gave her a little slice of the pie, and she was like, and she started realizing it. She started having FOMO. She was like, "Man, I spent all this time with you, and now you're living my dream that I should have waited for." And that's what the NBA owners don't want to do. They got Caitlin Clark now, who's going to help them recoup those 28 years of loss, and they can't let that go. Trust me on this. They can't let Caitlin Clark go. She's the reason. Now, if they didn't have Caitlin Clark, I wouldn't be making this video. I would be talking football right now. I'm out.